Almost no battery, full battery. What I have here is a Moto Z3 Play, and I've been playing around with it for a couple of weeks. As its name implies, it's the third model of the Z series of Motorola's modular phones. The whole concept of this phone is built around amplifying its capabilities via mods. Most of the mods are sold separately, and they add features to the phone that go from extra battery to a screen projector. It's a cool concept that sets this phone apart from the rest, but it depends heavily on the functionality and added value of the mods. So with that in mind, let's take a look at this Motorola. The Moto Z3 Play makes a very good first impression. If you were to bring it home to meet the parents, it would do just fine at first. The design on this phone feels premium. You wouldn't automatically think it's a mid-range phone, even though that's what it is. It's composed of glass and metal. The materials give it a really nice feel. On the other hand, it's hard to get past the camera bump on the back. I think that more and more we're getting used to cleaner, more smooth-looking devices. But the camera design and the magnetic piece at the bottom are there for a reason. They're there so you can fit the mods for the phone. More on that later. The display on this phone is actually great. It's a super AMOLED screen. Like all AMOLED screens, it shows true blacks and vibrant colors. The display didn't struggle when I put it under direct sunlight, which is a big plus. But now for more practical functions, I think that's where the Moto Z3 is less impressive. It's not water resistant, but it's water repellent. That means it will survive rain, but not a dive in the sink. The button placement is all over the place. So first you have the power button on one side, then you have the volume buttons on the other side, and below that you have a fingerprint reader. And I'm sorry, but that's just a weird place to put that feature. The phone is really thin. It's really thin because you're meant to beef it up with extra stuff. Enter the Moto Z3 Play most particular characteristic, the mods. That's this phone's unique selling point, and also what's gonna make you do a lot more buying. There's 14 mods available, and they're meant to expand this phone's capabilities one way or another. The phone comes with a power pack mod, the most essential, if you will. It's an extra battery that packs enough juice for a full charge on the phone. Other more gimmicky mods include a stereo speaker, a gamepad, and even a Polaroid printer. Several of the mods are redundant. 2 of them are battery packs, and a couple of the other ones are basically plastic protectors. Although the modular idea is pretty cool, you really have to be into what these mods offer because they don't come cheap. They cost from $40 to $80 a pop, and you also have to keep in mind that if you want to swap them around later, you'll have to carry them around with you. The Z3 Play comes with a USB-C port. It supports turbocharging through Motorola's fast chargers. It also has a micro SD slot so you can expand the storage beyond the 64 gigabytes that come with it. This Moto comes with a pretty clean version of Android 8.1 Oreo. The software that Motorola added is first of all optional, and second of all, it's not intrusive. If anything, it might add to your experience. Like if you want to take a screenshot, there's an easier way to do it. So you just have to place 3 fingers on the screen and you'll have your screenshot, which is a lot easier than pressing the volume down button and power button at the same time. As far as power, the Z3 Play comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 636 processor, a mid-range chip for a mid-range phone. But the phone makes full use of it because it never felt sluggish. The battery should last 40 hours, according to Motorola, but it didn't go beyond 1 day of regular use. That's where the power pack battery mod comes in handy. Maybe Motorola claimed the 40 hours of battery life of the phone counting the power pack. The cameras on this phone are average, nothing special about them. It has a dual camera on the back at 12 and 5 megapixels, and the front camera is 8 megapixels. All of them fall a bit short on sharpness and color accuracy, no matter the lighting conditions. There's an auto HDR feature, but it oversaturates the images. Motorola tried to amp the status of these cameras by adding a pile of features to the camera app. They're interesting, but none of them mind-blowing. But the novelty of these features wears off really easy. And the cameras, they're not bad, but they're not great either. This Motorola has very solid characteristics. The display is definitely top shelf. And despite having a second-tier processor, it works really well. Sure, The modular phone idea is interesting and kind of fun, but we've already seen the concept with previous models, and the new mods aren't mind-blowing, so they don't even justify the prices. This is Motorola's last entry in its modular phones trilogy, and like in the movies, maybe they created it to give the story an ending. It's not a bad ending, but it's not a good one either. That was it for the Moto Z3 Play. I'll see you next time here in Power Up with another cool gadget, and don't forget to catch us every Tuesday in our technology segment on Telemundo's morning show, Un Nuevo Día.